To start, can you tell me a little bit about yourself and your connection to Italy and Spain?
Sure. So my name is Francesca. I was born and raised in Italy, and I moved to Spain for the first time to study, to do an exchange program. I studied economics and management, and I moved to Spain in 2006 to do an exchange program with the University of Bologna. And that was when I learned Spanish for the first time. And currently I live in Madrid with my husband and my two little girls.
As part of the EU, Spain mandates composting. From your experience living in Madrid, do people actually follow this rule?
I cannot talk about everybody. I can talk about the people that I've seen or the people that have lived in the building where I lived the longest. So for about 6 years, I've lived in the city center of Madrid, and the government does provide bins for all kind of recycling. We have a yellow bin for plastic, a brown bin for composting. We have an orange bin for mixed waste. And unfortunately, I noticed that some people do compost and they buy plastic bags that are recyclable. But not everybody in the building follow the rules. And so in the compost bin, sometimes you see mixed trash, unfortunately.
So how do you think the average person in Madrid or in your building in general feels about composting?
I think some people are more educated than others. Like the young generation is more educated than others. Than the older people, and so I think that those are the ones that divide the trash and have started doing composting. But unfortunately, I believe that people that live in the city do not see the benefit of differentiating their waste.
So what do you think your building or your city could do to help more people start composting?
So actually, in Madrid, the government, I've noticed that they put some little ads or reminders in each building to tell people that composting and in general separating waste is very important. In addition, there is a program where every 2 weeks or every week, I don't remember, there is a truck that comes in each neighborhood and collect different kind of waste, but not like mostly electronics, but not composting yet. So from that point of view, the government, I'm sure that can do more to remind people that, there are lots of benefits when they separate food waste and other type of waste. So the government should work more on that.
Yeah, so like educate more about it and
Right.
maybe be a bit more strict.
Right. I've never seen like advertising in the city, like big posters or panels that remind people that it's important to compost. I did see new containers where people can separate old clothes versus old cameras or CDs or cassette that people don't use anymore. Sometimes people move, empty their houses, and you find all these things, and so they do have this type of containers. For example, people don't know where to throw them. In Madrid, we have bins where you can throw this specific type of
So do
trash.
people actually use those bins? Or?
They do.
So there are other reuse programs in place, maybe not as common in other countries, and they're used pretty often, while composting, well, how you've seen it, isn't that too often. Do people recycle too?
They do. They do. Yeah.
So people might recycle, but they might not compost.
Correct.
How difficult or easy is it to access these composting and recycling programs? I know you've said about the public bins and trucks coming by, do they make it any easier in a way, or is that the extent?
It is very easy. Each building has their own rules where there's a person in charge of pulling out these bins, and so every day you can throw the trash and someone comes to collect them at the end of the day. In some other corners of the city, they have other bins because typically you have someone working in a building from Monday to Friday, and so on the weekend you don't have access to your own community trash bins, but you go around the corner. Usually each neighborhood has other containers, and the same with composting. As I was saying before, I think they are doing a pretty good job in schools. Like, for example, my girls go to elementary school, and they talk about how good is recycling.
Oh, that's great.
And,
That's great.
yeah, started talking about circular economy. You know, how to reuse things before you recycle them, and yeah, or like you can use a bottle to I don't know, put flowers, you know, like they do little projects in school where they use materials that they can easily recycle, and make art, for example. And yeah, the government, maybe, you know, they can do more, they can talk more, and do some more advertising to remind people how important it is for the earth, you know, instead of just collecting piles of trash and mixed trash. We should use compost to, you know, help the environment grow the food that we eat or things like that.